Whether you're Labour right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government.
Eh? Where you say, Queen?
Whether you're Labour right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government.
Jamaica, I don't know about you, but I am so ashamed this morning. I am ashamed. I am ashamed this morning. I can't even catch.
Whether you're Labour right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government. Can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government? Whether you're Labour right, PNP, regular Jamaican who just want to vote for a change, you see the next election here will come up under no circumstances whatsoever can you vote in back the Jamaica Labour Party into government.
Queen said it best. There's no need to add, there's no need to take away from anything. She said it best. Jamaica, we want to talk this morning about education, the economy, agriculture, the healthcare to some extent, but at 11 delve in a little bit more on healthcare. So for the next 45 minutes, as soon as my guests join, after we wrap up that 45-minute interview, we're going to tune in to this press conference by Dr. Alfred Dawes and Jesse James Clark at 11. Our healthcare is in shambles, and I'm just getting some information that Jamaica currently doesn't have any contract with Cuba, and all doctors here on the island will be returning to Cuba. An interview was shortly done earlier on Power 106, and these were the sentiments of Ambassador Ward. Our healthcare is in shambles, and every day you see the government cutting ribbon and saying this and saying that about our healthcare infrastructure. Well, there you have it. The promise was that the doctors weren't gonna leave. Well, here we are today, Jamaica. Something different. So at 11, press conference hosted by Dr. Dawes and Jesse James Clark. But for now, Jamaica, we are anticipating the arrival of our party leader and also Dayton Campbell, and we are going to have a discussion that will open the eyes of many. So tell a friend to tell a friend and share up the live. Good morning, Trixie Gale, and good morning to each and everyone. And good morning to the Labourites. I hope the Labourites can be on their best behavior over here this morning. I don't want to have to assign my moderators to block anybody. So Labourites, please be on your best behavior. I know it's very difficult for you to do, but at least try, because I am a no-nonsense person when it comes on to foolishness. And it has already started, and I'm not going to entertain the buffoonery on this platform. All right, Labourites? So when you're on civilized platforms like these, please humble thyselves. Specifically speaking to the Labourites this morning. Good morning, Comrade Radcliffe. Big up yourself, sir. Good morning, Ivan. Tiny, good morning. Denise, good morning. I'm asking all 300 and other you just to share the live once. So you must have a friend that you're following or somebody that you're following over here. Take 1 second and just share the live to at least one individual. Quick and fast, please, and thanks. Good morning, Rani Bell. Good morning, Sandra Brissett, Sexy Corinne, Danique, Paulette, Lewis, Raquel, That is it. That is it. Colleen Marcus Edwards. That is it. Just share it to at least one person. Persons have been sharing to 5, even 10 persons, and I appreciate that. But I'm asking everybody to at least share the live once to a friend or a supporter. So in 5 minutes or less, I will be joined by party leader and Dr. Campbell Dayton, and Damian Crawford will at some point join the discussion. But Jamaica, we specifically wants to talk about education, the economy, and agriculture this morning. And the first thing I want to talk about is housing. Good morning, Tika. Big up yourself, my dear. How many of us, put aside those persons who the parents hand down a piece of land or the house to you and you remodel it, how many of us can start afresh, let's say working, and put aside for home ownership? Thank you, Xavier, and good morning, sir. Good morning, Trisha. It's not many of us, I'm sure many persons like myself after high school who go in the world of work, and y'all have been working, taxes being withdrawn. Many of us, when you go to the NHT, they're telling you that you're not qualified, Thank you, Richard Burton. Good morning, sir. Many persons, good morning, Scatterbless. Many persons, especially our young people, I am certain, have been contributing to the NHT for years. And after contributing for years and they go to the NHT to apply, they are told that they are not qualified. I saw the opposition implement or tell the nation some wonderful plans, and I can't wait for the party leader to expand some more on these initiatives, some beautiful initiative where it's only the People's National Party can formulate some of these strategies. I don't know what is wrong with the Labour Party. Instead, the Labour Party campaign on its achievements over the past almost 10 years. They're campaigning on plans, what they plan to do for the nation. It's understandable. There are no achievements to campaign on. Maybe a continuation of where the People's National Party left off. But it is a shame to know that the government has been campaigning on plans, what plans they have for Jamaica. After 10 years, they should be campaigning on their achievements. So, do you feel so? Yes, man, I feel so. I feel the government should be campaigning on their achievements instead of campaigning on platform, their plans for the nation. But Jamaica, we are here this morning to set the record straight. It's approaching the 10th hour and we anticipate the arrival of our special guest. But for now, we're going to start the discussion and then we introduce our special guest in a minute or two. Our special guest in a minute.
Is tasked with delivering knowledge. Then the internet becomes a power saw, is a tool of trade of the person who is doing logging, or a shovel is a tool of trade for a person who is mixing cement. The internet is a tool of trade to a purveyor of knowledge. And Absolutely. So we said that we would then offer the internet as a tools of trade, internet access to the homes of teachers so that they can prepare properly, they can research properly, they can continue to reinforce and to build upon their knowledge, so that when we move forward, our children are better off. So those are some of the things. Of course, we have others, and yes. We've shown, for example, how we improve in the staff room. We have seen millions of dollars being spent on improving the police stations, but nothing spent on improving the staff rooms and the school infrastructure.
Yes,
so,
and Yes, I don't cut you, Senator Crawford, but I would love, because I know time is against us, I would love for you to just speak a little about the one university scholarship per family, because I think this was a brilliant initiative. Because if there are 4 of us in my family, my parents have 4 of us, and if I'm the first to go to university, this initiative, after 3-4 years in university, my younger siblings, after I graduate, I will now be able to assist my younger siblings because of this initiative by the People's National Party to assist one university scholarship per family. So can you just elaborate on this initiative before we go to Dr. Dayton Campbell on agriculture?
Well, there are certain things that are within the DNA of a political party. For example, education is within the DNA of the People's National Party. It was Michael Manley that did free education up to tertiary education. It was Edward Seaga that ended that. It was P.J. Patterson that increased tertiary access from 6% to I think it was 19% or 17%. But there was a 300% increase under P.J. Patterson. There's a 3% increase under Andrew Holness. So there are certain things that the PNP have always been committed to, including having the highest levels of education access. Now, we see, for example, the vocational level 4 as equivalent to a degree. So we need to establish that we're not only speaking to the academic direction, but also the vocational direction, just to carry to its completion that it is to a level 4. Now, the objective that we have established is to have a degree per household. So that's the objective that the JLP seem to not understand, that every policy has a total objective, an overarching objective, and then a strategy. The strategy is the first person in the family will receive a scholarship. So the first person within the family to matriculate to the university, they will receive a scholarship, because we know that poverty has allowed for many persons with 10 subjects to be working in a wholesale as we speak. We know that poverty has allowed for many persons that is capable to be an engineer, to be on a construction site. Now, we would never allow a tractor to run a taxi, because there's more efficient use for the tractor to be on the farm, plowing the land and creating the value. But we'll allow a person capable to be a doctor to be in a wholesale. And the JLP wants us to believe that to ignore that reality is fiscal discipline. That is not fiscal discipline. That's wickedness disguised with an excuse. So what we say is that once you matriculate, we will give a scholarship to the tune of $600,000, which covers for the majority of courses and the majority of universities, both tuition and a contribution, and in some cases total boarding. So we believe that that would be an exceptional step. What was the JLP's counter in Andrew Holness' presentation, that he'll give 10 scholarships to those doing construction? So I believe that if the people look at the ideas, they'll realize the PNP is way better.
Absolutely. And I mean, that reassurance, Senator Crawford, it just will enable us as young people to take full advantage of some of these initiatives. But stick a point pin there, Senator Crawford. Let me welcome Dr. Dayton Campbell. Dr. Campbell, good morning, sir. Welcome back to the Dre Bryan Show. As opposition spokesman on agriculture, Dr. Campbell, we know our farmers are not lazy. And the initiative brought to the nation, where we see you're trying to tie the school with agriculture, where our farmers, the biggest problem our farmers is having is that there is no market after them cultivate their produce. And the initiative where you will tie the farmers with our schools, provide them with the nutritious meal, is a brilliant initiative. And I just wanted to expand some more when it comes down to agriculture and intertwining it with our schools. Go ahead, Dr. Campbell.
Well, thank you. Damian is here, so he can speak to the plan to provide a nutritious meal to the ladies in school. But essentially, what we're saying is that once we have signed off on that, we are going to ensure that we know what is needed, and then we ask the local farmers to go out there to produce the items. So an example is that once there's proper meal planning and you establish that you need, say, 500 pounds of Irish, your man from St. Anne, Brownstown is an educational capital with a few high schools and primary schools in that vicinity. If you need from St. Hilda's, you need 500 pounds of Irish and you need X amount of pounds of callaloo or pumpkin or whatever it is, and the same thing for your Castle or Brownstown High. Then you give that notice to the local farmers in the area to go out there and produce these items. So essentially what it will do is to provide a guaranteed market for their produce, and it will ensure that our children are actually having a nutritious meal from the local provision. Agriculture is a critical area. That will also lead to their parents earning, because agriculture is actually the largest employer of labor in the country. We have 262,000 registered farmers, and we have 300,000 farmers in total. And you're looking at a household that is going to have at least 2 to 3 persons. So agriculture is a significant area in terms of its contribution. 80% of the rural activity, economic activity, is linked to agriculture. Whether it's people planting that they produce or raising animals that they sell, or persons who run in a little tuck shop, or persons supplying the hotels or whatever it is. As you can imagine, that people have to consume items. So most of it, 80% of the economic activity in rural Jamaica is directly linked to agriculture. And so we want to put agriculture as a priority item, and the school feeding program is one such plan that we have that will incorporate the produce of the local farmers and ensure that the children get proper nutrition.
Absolutely, well said. And another question that persons keep reaching out to me in terms of agriculture, Dr. Campbell, is to reduce our importation bill. Some young persons, especially in my constituency, tell me, Dre, okay, Tara, I see you. Just a second. Some persons would reach out to me and say, Dre, why is it that we in Jamaica are producing our own, we have our own bigger soft drink? Why is it that we are importing Buster from Trinidad? These are some of the things that we can eliminate and limit our food intake. So, I mean, we want that assurance as agriculture minister to reduce our importation when we form the next government. These are some of the commitment that we want our leaders to take, and you are giving us that assurance that you will ensure that we reduce our food intake bill, sir.
Yes, absolutely. So if you look at our food importation bill, when the PNP left office in 2016, the food importation bill was at $834 million US. Over the last 9 years, it has increased to $1.44 billion US, an increase of 70%. And we have roughly about 80% of the items on our shelves currently are imported. So we have certainly taken a backward step over the last 9 years. And if you look at it, the proposal that we have put forward is that we want a dedicated fund to deal with agriculture and local production. So in a similar way too, you have the NHF, which is dedicated to healthcare delivery, or how you have the Universal Service Fund or the Tourism Enhancement Fund. We want a dedicated fund for agriculture, and we have proposed that, and we've said that the funding to go into that will come from a percentage of the taxes. So when we did the research and we look at how much did we collect in taxes from imported food items on average over the last 10 years, it averaged out to $707 million US. And we've said if you take 2.5% of that, you will get about 2.5 billion Jamaican dollars that we will then use now to focus on local production of items so we can have import substitution. Yes. So the last time that Jamaica produced enough Irish potatoes so that we didn't have to import was in 2014 on a former minister of agriculture, Roger Clark of blessed memory. So we have identified Irish potato and onions, because if you think about it, we know what the annual consumption is of these items in Jamaica. We know how many kilograms we're going to need per year. We also know what the expected yield is if you plant it. So all we need to do is to put the required amount on the production so that we can supply ourselves in these items. We're not going to be able to be self-sufficient in everything, right?